Imagine marrying a self-made millionaire. But he was smart enough to have you sign a prenuptial agreement. You're living a wonderful life. I mean, he's taking care of you. In fact, you're not working. But somewhere down the line, you decide, I changed my mind about that legal contract I signed that stated that I can't take him to the cleaners and have half of his wealth that he built before we got married. And so you decide to call into Dave Ramsey to get some advice. On what you should do next. This video is titled, "My Millionaire Husband Made Me Sign a Prenup and Controls Me." I mean, what a crazy title. We're just going to break this down right from the start. This is the second video that we've actually reacted to. If you haven't seen the last one, it's actually this one right here titled 80K a Year is a Joke, where you have one of the hosts. By the way, I'm not very familiar with like the dynamics on the Dave Ramsey podcast. I think that makes it even more exciting for me because I'm kind of learning this stuff for the first time. Apparently, this is Dave Ramsey's daughter. Anyways, her and another gentleman here are laughing at a man for only earning a measly 80K a year, and he has a house, and they're like, why does he want a prenup? It's only 80K. Like I said in the video, if they're laughing at this guy, how much harder would they laugh at an average earning person? Just to be clear, guys, this is not a reflection on the character of anybody from Dave Ramsey or the financial services they offer. People get good value from them. But when it comes to their stance on prenuptial agreements, as a man who just recently got married a few years ago, right? One of the toughest things, which is why I decided to start helping men out with that. Gen Z, they're even more hardcore. But their stance on prenups are what I decided to focus on and disagree with. Let's get into it.
Tracy's in Birmingham. Hi, Tracy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. My question is, I am married to a self-made millionaire. We've been married for 3 years, together for a total of 7.
Right.
I put my career on hold, and I kind of help him with everything, his businesses, multiple businesses,
What do you
everything. The one job that I have that I actually get a paid salary from is I am a project/office manager for an electrical contracting company.
Mm-hmm.
And we do jobs across the nation. So that is the one job that I do that I actually get a salary for. But on top of that, I help him with everything, all of his other businesses that he has, and all of his personal things, like a normal couple would. But when we got married, I signed a prenup.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I understand that you, everything before me is yours, and your success is yours.
Here come the tears. Those tears are powerful, aren't they? They're powerful. On a public platform, oh, man, you better acknowledge those.
But I'm starting to feel like we're never going to build together. And I've put my career on hold, and I'm helping out with him and his things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hurts.
Tracy, what else is going on?
there's actually a lot.
Yeah.
Engaged or soon-to-be married men, getting a prenup doesn't have to be confusing. At fathershaverights.com, we break everything down in plain, simple English so you feel in control from day one. Here's one of our 5-star reviews from Logan. I didn't know much about prenups before, but the way everything was explained made it easy to understand. It didn't feel overwhelming or super legal heavy. It was just real advice that actually made sense. I feel way more secure going into marriage now. Grab the guide for the price of a couple of coffee dates by clicking the pinned link in the comments and join the hundreds of future husbands securing their marriages the right way.
I've been wanting to have kids, and that's something that I feel like he's stringing me along with as well. And I feel like everything in our lives is his. Like, there's nothing that's ours. Like, I don't feel like he values my opinion or
You know why you feel
me.
this way?
Why?
Because that's the truth.
It's true.
Oh,
That's why you feel this way.
my goodness.
You're not crazy.
And
All right. So I know who this guy is right here. I didn't know his name until somebody said, because I said, there's this guy, he does these call-in shows, and they're just, every time a chick calls in, I see him on TikTok. I see how he handles the chicks versus the men who call in, a woman who call in, be like, yeah, I've been cheating on my husband for like years now. And he will sit there and go, there's a reason you did that. And I see why one of my subscribers asked me to do like a deep dive of all his content. I might. You guys have never stirred me wrong every time I listen to my audience. I'm sorry. I'm going to pause it a bunch in this video because it's just so much to cover right now. Here's what we have so far. Listen to the way this title's written, right? This title is written in such a disingenuous way. I know because I've done it. Every platform has their biases, regardless of whether they want to admit it or not. Obviously, I have a soft spot for men today who value marriage or navigating the dating market, or men who've been through divorce and family court. I feel for you, right? And so, title says, my millionaire husband made me sign a prenup, made her sign a prenup. Made her sign a prenup. That there is a ridiculous title. I hope you know that that's not. No one can make you sign a prenup. If he actually made her sign a prenup, then that prenup would be void. And that's not me saying that. That is what I have learned from talking to expert attorneys via the past few years or so. You can't make somebody sign a legal document and that legal document actually be working. It sounds like it's working. So she says he's a self-made millionaire. Got it. They sign a prenup. Got it. She says it. She's a manager. Okay, so he's paying her. Then she talks about not really investing in her own career, like she was forced to quit her job. I doubt she was forced to quit her job. What's more likely, based on what we see, is that women want men who are economically attractive. Ideally, not just making the same amount as them. Ideally, they want those men to be able to make enough that they don't have to worry about paying major bills within the household. That's the ideal situation we see with a lot of these chicks in today's dating market, asking for marriage and husbands. He's able to do that. Wonderful. Most women are out here crying and praying for this exact same situation. Instead, she decides to weaponize that and say, now look, I'm stranded. But there are details here that you can miss if you're not really listening to what's going on. It sounds like she feels like she can't leave this marriage, if you ask me. That's the stance that I'm taking, and benefit monetarily from it. And she's realizing that that prenup she signed actually worked. The last point that definitely lets me know that that's the case is that she says he keeps leading her on when it comes to them having children. I think, because a lot of people don't know that you can't protect yourself with a prenup when it comes to kids. Right? It's just, you got to take care of your kids. But you can limit your losses in other areas outside of children. And me hearing her complain about not having children with him also lets me know that she realizes that, like, I don't even have kids with this guy. I can't even get something via child support. That's what's happening here. We have a prenup, it sounds like, that worked. How are they going to react? Dave Ramsey and I forget this guy's name here. Also, let me know if you guys want me to do a full, deep dive into his content as well. Let's keep listening.
Yeah.
Hey, Tracy.
And you know what? That's
Tracy?
funny that you say that, John, because he
John.
has been saying that I need to go to a psychiatrist.
Yes.
Because there's no reason why I should be unhappy with my life because he provides me with all these things
Except
that I
for
don't ask for.
except for meaning. He tells you what you're going to like and what you're going to love and what you need, and then he provides that without giving you any input on the things that you want and need, and you're living somebody else's life.
It is.
Correct.
Just like we all got Biden. No, we didn't all. People got Biden checks. They didn't get value and purpose, right? It's very similar.
Right.
You're not crazy. It's the gaslighter special. When you say, hey, I'm not doing okay, and they say, well, you should probably go see somebody, right?
Yeah.
Dave said it he was right on. You feel this way because it's true.
This is ridiculous. This is not about meaning. It's not. It makes a great, podcast, but it's not about meaning. Do you think that Tracy from Birmingham will be calling into the Dave Ramsey show if she knew she was getting half of millions of dollars? Do you think she would feel like she lacks meaning? Chisha, are you trying to say that all she wants is money? No. That's not what I'm trying to say. That's not. I'm trying to say this is about a prenup that's solid and legally binding, from what it sounds like. That's what this is about. And his response, that's a typical provider husband response. I'm sure he doesn't actually think she needs to go see a psychiatrist. I'm sure he doesn't. That was something that was said in the heat of the moment, saying, you need to go see a psychiatrist because look at everything. That's how a lot of men are tempted to feel when they feel like they are unappreciated. Is there a chance that the man is actually controlling? Maybe, but that's not what I'm seeing here. I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, and I'm a very hard worker. I'm very frugal.
You said you've been married 3 years. How old are you?
I'm 35.
How old is he?
He is 51.
Okay. Yeah, he's acting like a daddy.
Yep.
Hold on. I bet you they didn't see that coming. We're not going to skip that. He definitely understood what this was, and he was smart enough to protect himself. There's no other way of slicing the pie here.
Just the year differentiation.
You're acting like a daughter/employee.
Yeah. He's a wee bit overbearing, don't you think?
I feel that like I am more of an employee.
Yeah. I wonder what would happen if you quit.
I have threatened that in the past.
I wouldn't threaten it. I'd just do it.
Don't threaten.
I'm saying what would happen? I think the dynamic would change.
It changes for a moment, and then, he says all the right things, and then.
No, hold on. But
what
do you get? What are you getting paid to be the project coordinator / administrative assistant?
By the way, guys, they totally skipped the age gap. He knew exactly what this was. And she, of course, saw a successful man and was giving up youth when it came to the man who she's marrying for economic attraction.
What do you make a year?
Approximately like $50,000.
Okay. You can go find another $50,000 job.
Yeah, go find a different
absolutely.
job. Go find a different job.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the thing that he always says is that I am spoiled and entitled because he pays all the bills, which he has.
Hey, hold on. I don't care what he says anymore.
Yo, this is crazy.
All of a sudden, what he says doesn't matter. I've heard enough of it.
Yeah, you don't work for him anymore. Now y'all have a chance to work on your marriage because you're not.
You need to go
mixing
get a
church
job
and state.
somewhere else and get a marriage counselor. And if he won't go without him and let the marriage counselor navigate you through setting this guy up for one possible chance to win or two possible chances to win, and then this isn't going to go well.
Yeah.
It's already not going well.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well for her. Let's make that very, very clear. This isn't going to go well for her. He doesn't have any kids by her. He sounds like he has a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement. It's not going to go well for her. I am curious to see the comments, and we are going to check those out, but I have to show you guys this because a lot of people say, the reason why Dave Ramsey's against prenuptial agreements, so they feel this way, is because they are a Christian-based platform. And I sit there and I go, what does that have to do with the prenup? You understand you have a prenup, regardless of whether you go get one yourself. What you're saying is that you trust the state that you live in's prenuptial agreement. This is common knowledge, and not every state has the same exact marriage laws after divorce, right? That binding contract that you sign includes a third party, and that's the state. And they aren't biblically based. They're not. They have their own incentives. You have to understand that, right? You know that, right? When you sign a marriage contract, the state is involved in your marriage. They have the final say. And your best protection at that, when it's done correctly, is to say, hold on, I want to make an agreement called a prenup that we can sign together and we can agree on the bounds of our marriage and relationship. And you get to decide the boundaries and expectations of your future marriage. An attorney I was talking to told me this. He said, women don't ask men for prenups. A lot of women are getting more prenups now because they're making money. And in some cases, more money than the men that they're dating. A 20-year practicing attorney says women don't play about their money. They tell men, hey, we're going to get a prenuptial agreement. They protect their money. It's men in many cases that sit there and feel timid when it comes to approaching prenuptial agreements. So I don't believe it's unchristian to have a prenup. In fact, Dave Ramsey himself said here in this video that he eventually began to realize a prenup in some cases is best. Check it out for yourself.
Only time I used to never recommend prenups. I used to say if you don't love the person more than your money, that you shouldn't get married. And I changed that after about a decade of coaching people, because where I ran into extreme wealth, which $1 million at 35 years old is pretty extreme. When I run into large amounts of wealth, I found not that the person that you're marrying is usually the problem, but if you don't have a prenup as a boundary, the crazy people in their family come out of the woodwork. And
Right.
so, and if they, and if she knows Crazy Bob's going to call, she can just go, Crazy Bob, there's a prenup and I don't have access to this. Because if the family starts finding out or somehow realizes that she's hit a gold vein here and is going to be set, then and some toxic member of the family, and most every family has at least one Crazy Bob in it, right? So
Right.
it just brings out the weirdness in other people more than the person.
I show this to not point any contradiction when it comes to Dave Ramsey. I actually think this is a good thing. He's able to change his opinion when it comes to prenups to a degree based on life experience. And this is also important to people who are like, well, this is a spiritual matter. I don't think this is a spiritual matter at all, because he didn't use a Bible verse to justify that. He used his own personal experience. And so with that being said, it would make sense why millennials, and especially Gen Z, who don't want to be responsible for their significant other's debt, amongst other issues, are not playing around when it comes to the importance of prenuptial agreements. If you guys want to know the context of this video, it was a guy and he had a lot of wealth and was asking if he should get a prenup. And, this is the follow-up from Dave Ramsey. That's old age thinking, guys. You don't have to be a millionaire to get yourself a prenuptial agreement. So let's check out a few of these comments, what the people have to say. Top comment here reads, prenup equals not a problem. Relationship dynamic equals the problem. Somebody else here says, I don't blame people for getting a prenup considering the divorce rate in the US. I'm realizing that they just choose to ignore these comments when it comes to certain videos. I understand that they probably have a large female demographic, right? If you're going to really tackle the issue of marriages and prenuptial agreements, then you're going to probably leave a bad taste in your female audience's household. And a lot of these guys, I hate to say it, they're not running their households like that, right? Their wives have a lot of say. And so they're not going to make that mistake. Somebody else who says, of course, the dude got a prenup. He wants to make sure she cannot walk in, stay a couple of years, and then walk out with half his assets. Somebody else here added, there's 3 sides to a story, her side, his side, and the truth. Another person who says, I rarely disagree with Dave, but he's got to stop taking one side of the story based on crocodile tears. That woman sounds like all kinds of trouble. Yeah, the tears, man. The tears get them all the time. Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon to be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.